A little bit about myself, why I do RC, and maybe how I started. I started about 10 years ago. My first car was a Nitro HPI MT, 4-wheel drive 10 scale truck. I got that just for fun. I happened to go to a hobby town, I saw it, I really wanted it. So I saved up my money. This was when I was in grade school. So I bought it. The next thing I knew, I wanted to race, so I hit the local track. I found out that you can't race 4-wheel drive 10 scale. It wasn't a big class at the time, so I got into the Team Losi Adam Drake 2-wheel drive nitro truck. And at the time that was like the big class. It was before 8th scale. Everybody was racing it. And so I'd gotten one of those, raced it for a few years, I think like 2 summers, and then I got a monster truck, an HPI Savage. When it first came out, I had to have the .21. So I got that. I raced in the monster truck class for a few years. It was really the big class at the time, still right before 8th scale. So it was, you know, I was in the popular class, really competitive, loved it. Nitro, I loved it. At the time, you know, electric sucked. It was expensive to do. Brushless, it was barely coming out. So I didn't do any electric. After high school, I kind of got out of RC for a little bit, went off to school, checked out the local track near the school I was going to, and kind of got back into it. And then I had moved back home, got back into RC, and I mean, it was right when the short course craze was kicking off. So I got the Traxxas Slash, and I got the brushless Valenian system for it, and the LiPo batteries, and I was hooked on electric. I mean, I didn't want anything to do with nitro cars at the time. So after that, you know, 10 scale was starting to get bigger. You know, 2-wheel drive buggy and 4-wheel drive buggy was getting a little bit bigger, but where I lived there was nowhere to race them, so it was still nitro, and 8th scale was the big thing. So I said, hey, electric 8th scale. So I got a Mugen Eco when they first came out. I had the first one that got to the hobby store, set that up. At the time there wasn't many 8th scale electric systems to choose from, so I did a little bit of searching around, seeing what I could get. I ended up doing Speed Passion, trying Orion, I tried a Tekin, you know, tried different 8th scale systems, and I was hooked. 8th scale, 4-cell LiPo, awesome. One of the best classes I've ever raced. Did that for 2 summers in a row, going on 3. You know, now we have a 10th scale indoor clay track where I live, and I was hooked on 2-wheel drive buggy, 4-wheel drive buggy, 10th scale. It was great, and that's what I continue to do, is indoor 10th scale. I haven't raced outdoor in quite a while. I travel from Boise, I go down to Salt Lake, I've gone up to Spokane, I've gone to Seattle, Oregon, you know, a few different places, and checked out all the clay indoor tracks. There's so many in the Northwest right now, you know, racing. So this last year I decided, since I did more racing last year, more traveling, I wanted to see if I could get any sponsors or, you know, help out with the cost of the RC, because we all know it's an expensive hobby, it's not cheap. I was able to land a few sponsorships, one with Schumacher, so I could race their 10th scale electric off-road buggies. I also got one with Novak for ESCs and motors. You know, it was great. So I started off this year, went to a few races. Here locally we had a few big ones to kick off the year. Traveled out of town a few times now. This summer is just getting started around here, so outdoor hasn't even started yet. It's still running indoor. Our indoor track just started a outdoor on-road course, and I haven't raced on-road since almost the beginning of when I started racing. So I took out my old on-road cars, a Schumacher Axis Pro. It was a blast. I ran a few weeks ago for the first time Outdoor. I've never ran pavement, outdoor, electric, fun. But right now, looking forward to the summer. Here next week, there's a short course national race in Oregon. Plan on going. Gonna do some video. Gonna do some photography. Get pictures of the event, and hopefully, do some more vlogging like this, where I can take the camera with me and talk about what we're doing at the track. Maybe get some other people to talk about their experience at the track, talk about what they're running, what's working, what they've tried, setups, things like that. So that's what I plan on doing, is just taking the camera with me more and being in front of the camera instead of behind, because that's what I wanted to start doing, is to connect with everybody that watches the videos instead of just being behind the camera. So definitely taking off. It seems to get bigger and bigger every year. Short course helped it a lot a few years ago as far as electric. It really boosted the brushless systems, and the LiPo batteries have just gotten amazing. Every year something new is coming out. They're getting faster and faster. The ESCs are getting better. The programmability is getting better. It's just taking off, and nitro is still a lot of fun. I just haven't done it for a few years. It's something that I want to get back into. I raced one time last year with a nitro buggy, 8th scale, and I had fun, but I forgot how hard it is sometimes to tune the motor and the fuel, and how messy they are. But I mean, it is a nitro motor. It's loud. It's exciting when you got 10 or 12 cars running at once on a big track. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about my RC background. I just picked up a camera a few years ago and just kept with it. Just kept taking pictures, video. It seemed like no one at the track near me was doing anything. I couldn't find any photos from when I first started. No one was taking video, and it's really nice to be able to go to the track and go to a big race, and then a few days later someone has pictures and video, and you can remember, you can watch yourself race again. You can learn from your mistakes. You can watch what happened and find out exactly how the race went. Maybe get into going to some bigger races, maybe down in California, or travel a little bit more. So, but let me know what you guys think.